Stop whatever you're doing right now with your cash ISA. It's about to change forever. The government just signaled the biggest shake-up to ISA rule in over a decade, and most people have no idea what's coming. I'm Hamed, and if you have a single pound in a cash ISA, you need to watch this. Because what happens in 2027 could cost you thousands. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's changing. I'll show you who wins and who loses under the new rules. You'll learn the specific moves to make before the deadline. And I'll reveal a transfer hack that almost nobody is talking about. This isn't speculation. This is happening. And your window to act is closing fast. Here's the truth. According to HMRC data from 2025, there are over 263 billion pounds sitting in cash ASS across the UK. That is an insane amount of money, and the government has been eyeing it for years. Sarah Coles, head of personal finance at Hargreaves Lansdown, called the proposed changes, quote, "a seismic shift for savers." She's not exaggerating. Let me give you the backstory. In 2024, the government launched the British ISA consultation. They wanted to encourage more investment into UK companies. But tucked inside that consultation was a bombshell proposal. They floated capping the cash ISA allowance at just £4,000 per year, down from £20,000. That's an 80% cut. And in 2026, that proposal is back on the table. Most people don't know this. The Treasury's own review found that cash ESAs cost the government approximately £3 billion per year in lost tax revenue. £3 billion. Professor Andrew Clare at Bayes Business School, City University of London, has argued that cash ESAs actually harm long-term wealth building. His research shows cash savers lose purchasing power to inflation over any 10-year period. The government is using this exact argument to justify slashing your allowance. Here's what changed everything for me. A 2023 study from the Institute for Fiscal Studies found that the average cash ISA returned just 1.2% over the previous decade. Meanwhile, inflation averaged 2.7%. That means every single year, your cash was losing value. You thought your money was safe. It was quietly being eaten alive. And coming up, I'll show you the one move that flips this completely on its head. Let's be real. Here's what we know is on the table for April 2027. The cash ISA annual subscription limit could drop to £4,000. The remaining £16,000 would be redirected to stocks and shares ISAs, innovative finance ISAs, or the proposed new British ISA. Your existing cash ISA pots would be protected. But new contributions, massively restricted. This isn't a rumor anymore. Multiple Treasury sources have confirmed this is the leading proposal. Here's the truth. Most of you watching right now have your entire ISA allowance in cash. HMRC data shows that 74% of all ISA subscriptions go into cash ISAs. Only 26% goes into stocks and shares. That means nearly 3/4 of you are about to get hit by this rule change hard. And here's the kicker. You still have time to fix it, but only if you move in 2026. Imagine this. You have until April 5th, 2027 to use your full £20,000 cash ISA allowance. After that, potentially just 4,000. So step 1 is obvious. Max out your cash ISA this tax year. Every single pound you put in now is protected under the existing rules. That a £20,000 stays tax-free forever. It's grandfathered in. This is your last chance to lock in the full allowance in cash. Do not sleep on this. Nobody tells you this. You can transfer existing ISA money between providers without it counting towards your annual allowance. Read that again. If you have old cash ISAs earning terrible rates, move them. Transfer them to a higher rate cash ISA now before the rules change. Or transfer them into a stocks and shares ISA to start building real wealth. Laura Suter, Director of Personal Finance at AJ Bell, has specifically urged savers to review and consolidate their old ISA pots before 2027. Let's be real. This is where it gets crazy. Over the last 20 years, a stocks and shares ISA invested in a global index tracker returned an average of 8% per year. A cash ISA? About 2%. On a £20,000 contribution, that's the difference between £107,000 and £32,000 over 15 years. That's £75,000 you're leaving on the table. Professor Elroy Dimson at Cambridge Judge Business School has documented this equity premium for decades. Here's the truth. I'm not saying dump every penny into stocks. You still need an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. That's non-negotiable. But here's the game changer. Under the new rules, £4,000 in a cash ISA is actually perfect for an emergency buffer. The remaining $16,000 should be working harder in a stocks and shares ISA. This isn't reckless. This is what the smartest financial planners are already recommending to their clients. Most people don't know this exists. Since 2015, basic rate taxpayers get a £1,000 personal savings allowance. Higher rate taxpayers get £500. That means the first £1,000 of interest you earn outside an ISA is already tax-free. So if your cash savings are small, you might not even need a cash ISA. The government is literally betting that most people won't notice the cash ISA cap because the PSA already covers them. Sneaky, right? Listen, not everyone is affected equally. If you're a higher rate taxpayer with large cash savings, this hits you hardest. Your PSA is only £500. Beyond that, you're paying 40% tax on interest. Losing £16,000 of cash ISA space is devastating for you. But if you're a basic rate taxpayer with modest savings, honestly, the impact is smaller. And coming up, I'll give you the exact action plan for both situations. Don't go anywhere. Here's what changed everything. I built a step-by-step timeline. Right now, in 2026, max your cash ISA to £20,000 if you can. Next, review all your old ISA pots and consolidate them. Then open a stocks and shares ISA if you don't have one. Start with a simple global index fund. Finally, before April 2027, make sure you've used every penny of your current allowance. That's it. 4 steps. Your future self will thank you. Imagine this. What if you could withdraw from your cash ISA and put the money back in the same tax year without losing your allowance? That's exactly what a flexible cash ISA lets you do. Not all providers offer it, but those that do It's a game changer. Nationwide, Monzo and Chase all offer flexible cash ISAs in 2026. If you need access to your cash but want to preserve your full allowance, switch to a flexible provider now. Let's be real. If you do nothing, here's what happens. April 2027 arrives. Your cash ISA allowance potentially drops to £4,000. You can only shelter a fraction of your savings tax-free. Every pound of interest above your PSA gets taxed. Over 10 years, a higher rate taxpayer could lose over £12,000 to unnecessary tax. That's £12,000 gone because you didn't act when you had the chance. Don't let that be you. Here's the truth nobody tells you. This cash ISA change isn't happening in isolation. The government wants your money flowing into UK equities. The proposed British ISA with an extra £5,000 allowance for UK stocks. The Mansion House reforms pushing pensions into British companies. The pattern is clear. The UK is restructuring the entire savings ecosystem. Cash is being deliberately deprioritized. Those who adapt early will build generational wealth. Those who don't will watch inflation eat them alive. Let me tie this all together. The shocking truth is simple. Cash ISAs were never designed to make you wealthy. They were a safety net. And now, even that safety net is shrinking. The winners in 2027 and beyond will be those who learn to invest, who understood compound growth, who moved their money before the deadline. Professor Andrew Clare's research proves it. Every decade you stay in cash, you fall further behind. This is your wake-up call, right here, right now. If this video hit different, I need you to do something right now. Smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss a Wealth Decoders video. Drop a comment telling me, are you moving your cash ISA this year? I read every single comment. Share this with someone who still has all their money sitting in cash. They need to see this before it's too late. I'm Hamed. I'll see you in the next one. Let's build wealth together.